Hi children, how are you? Today we are going to start about a new lesson, reproduction in plants. What is reproduction? In lower class you learned about reproduction. Reproduction is the process by which producing new individuals from their parents. The production of new individuals from their parents is called reproduction. In this lesson, we studied about the reproduction in plants. How plants reproduce? Do you know? Yes, there are several modes of reproduction present in plants. We shall learn about several modes of reproduction in plants. Let us start our class. Most plants have root, stems, leaves, etc. And these parts are called vegetative parts. What is called? Vegetative parts. Most plants have roots, stems, leaves, etc. And these parts are called vegetative parts. After a certain period of growth, the plants bear flowers. And plants also have seeds. Seeds are germinated and produce new plant. The baby plant coming out from the seed is called germination. In our class you learned germination process. The process by which the production of baby plant from the seed is called germination. Flowers perform the function of reproduction in plants. So, the flowers are called reproductive parts. There are several ways the plants produce their offspring, and these are categorized into two groups. They are asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Once more, asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. There are several ways the plants reproduce their offsprings, and they are classified into mainly two groups, asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, the plants produce their offsprings without the fusion of seeds. In asexual reproduction, the plants give rise to new plants without seeds. In sexual reproduction, the plants give rise to new plant with the seeds. That is, new plants are obtained from seeds. There are two ways, asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, plants give rise to new plants without seeds. In sexual reproduction, plants give rise to new plants with the seeds, or new plants are obtained from seeds. Okay. Let us study one by one. The first one is asexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, plants give rise to new plants without seeds. In asexual reproduction, first we discussed about vegetative propagation. What is vegetative propagation? Vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation is a type of asexual reproduction. In this reproduction, the plants can reproduce their offspring from the root, stem, leaves, etc. Vegetative reproduction is one type of asexual reproduction. The plants produce their offspring from the roots, leaves, buds, etc. Let us study one by one. Okay. The first one, vegetative propagation, first one, cutting. Some of the plants like hibiscus plant, jasmine plant, we can cut at plant parts. That cutting produce new plants. That is one type of vegetative propagation. Then some of the plants leaves, that is bryophyllum leaves. Bryophyllum leaves produce the new plants. From the edges of the leaves have some roots, and these roots produce new plants. That is reproduction from leaves. Cutting, reproduction from leaves. The next one, reproduction from buds. Are you see potato? Some of the potato, you can see that some white colored structure on the surface of the potato. The new baby plant, the baby plant is coming out from that white structure. That is one vegetative propagation. Some of the plants' roots produce new plants. For example, sweet potato. Sweet potato and dahlia are the examples of reproduction from roots. For some of the plants, roots also produce new plants. The next vegetative propagation or asexual reproduction is budding. Next one, budding. Budding. One of the organism, yeast. Yeast. Do we have yeast? Yes. The yeast have some bulb-like projections coming out from the surface of the yeast. The small bulb-like projection coming out from the yeast is known as bud. The bud is small bulb-like projections coming out from the yeast. The bud gradually grow and detach from the parent cell and produce a new yeast. The new yeast cell grow, matures and produce more yeast cell. That is one type of vegetative propagation or asexual reproduction. One of the microorganism, yeast. Yeast can produce some bulb-like projections, their outer surface of the body, and the bud is formed into new yeast. Okay. The next one is fragmentation. The next asexual reproduction is fragmentation. Do you see some green color patches on the surface of water, in ponds water? Some green color patches, that is algae. Algae can produce this fragmentation process. The algae can divide their body into small pieces, that is fragments, and each fragments produce new algae, that is fragmentation process. The next asexual reproduction is spore formation. Spore, S-P-O-R-E, spore. In lower class you learned spore formation, asexual reproduction. Some of the plants like moss and ferns, they reproduce from these spores. During the favorable condition, the spores are present in these plants like moss and ferns. During favorable condition, the spores produce new individual. Okay, dear children, today we are studying some of the reproduction in plants. What is reproduction? Reproduction is the process by which producing new individual from their parents. In plants, there are several modes of reproduction: asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, plants produce their new plants without seeds. Sexual reproduction, new plants are obtained from seeds. In asexual reproduction, the first method is vegetative propagation. What are the vegetative parts in plants? Roots, leaves, stems, etc. The new plants are obtained from these vegetative parts are called vegetative propagation. First we discuss cutting. Example, hibiscus, jasmine plant. Then budding, yeast. Then buds, potato. Then reproduction from roots, example, sweet potato. Reproduction from leaves, example, bryophyllum plant. Then spore formation, example, moss and fern. Then fragmentation, example, algae. Okay, dear children, this portion is over. The next class we will discuss in sexual reproduction. Everybody should read the textbook carefully. If you have any doubt, you call me. Okay, dear children, thank you.